Howdy, my noble friends, SirKakaBabu is back with World of Tanks, and this time I am playing in the mighty JagdPanzer E-100, the Jaegaru. Well, we are on the Paris map and we are also in a full tier 10 matchup. Now, I don't really like this Paris map and I have usually blocked it off. But then I realized that I hated another map even more than this one. So now it is not blocked. And therefore we find ourselves on this map. I am positioning myself in order for the T100 LT, which is in a forward spotting location. I'm hoping he would spot somebody. And well, nobody was spotted by him. So now I am piri moving against the enemy corner. I say enemy corner because that is where all the enemies like to situate themselves at, and our job is to do as much damage as possible to the enemy team. Now I was a bit cautious because in the Jaegaru it is easy to understand and be fooled by the armor layout of this vehicle and think that your armor actually works, but it does not work because the enemies firing those high penetration rounds at you can go through your upper structures like there is no tomorrow. And we locate our first victim, the STB-1, doing 1040 damage to him. That is what this Jaegaru does. It lurks in the back around the corner, and when the opportunity presents itself, it just lunges onto the enemy and takes away their hit points. That is exactly what we did, and that STB-1 must not be feeling so happy. Well, the things are not looking very good for our team at the moment. Look at the score. We are already down 4 tanks and we fire and we finished off what we started earlier, and that STB-1 has moved back to the garage. Now the artillery is trying to hit us, and thankfully we've had this building in ahead of us which blocked the shell. Otherwise we would have not been. Oh, fantastic! Most deadly tank on the enemy team, the VZ-55, has been killed by us. Sadly, it was just not very healthy. Otherwise I would have loved to do more damage, and there is a theme which is going to repeat itself. The kills which we would do, well, the enemies would not be very healthy, unfortunately. Otherwise we would have had a lot more damage than we actually secured. Anyways, we are looking at the 140 which was over there. I was hoping that he would get spotted. Now I see that the Jaegaru, my counterpart, has moved up over there and he is looking hungrily to flank us. I am with the AMX M454 and E100, T110 E3, and basically we are holding the fort over here. I decide to move up at the moment, but then I was fearful that the T95 FP201 chief and Jaegaru might come forward. Also I spot that the chief has moved up over here and they are threatening our base area. Look at the score, 3 and 7, and things are not really looking so hot for us. I was positioning myself to fire at them. Little did I know that my positioning was totally not good and I had no shot at the enemy because they were on the other side, right? The other side of the building. So I am not having any shots at them. Jaegaru meanwhile has moved up over here and I am hiding from him so that I don't want him to retreat. Now he fired a round into the E-100, and we turn around the corner and put a mega round into him. E-100 AMX M454 finished it off fantastically, and our E-100 put a round into the chieftain, while the AMX M454 finished it off. Manticore and STB-1 are making their approach towards us. They are also capping the base, and now I am totally prepared to welcome the enemies which are coming towards us. Come on, enemies. Manticore comes forward, spots me. I put a round into it, and the tier 10 British light tank goes down. STB fires a round into me. It was a heat round, and it got absorbed by my tracks, but the second round did not, and STB-1 does first damage to me. Now the enemy team players are 3 into the cap. STB is over here. We have E-100 and a E3 over on there. Object 140 moves up against me. I put a round into him and I kill him. Now the enemies are moving fast against me. I made my stun because STB-1 is moving against me. I need my reload. Come on, STB-1, you can do it. STB-1 spots me. He puts fires, misses, and I put a round into him, finish him off. Meanwhile, Kran-1 appears behind me. He puts one round into me. The second one of his round bounces. Artillery puts a second round. Now I am stunned, so my reload is slow, but so I know I wouldn't be reloaded in time. I push into him. I finish him off by ramming, and now I am on 6 kills. Meanwhile, enemy thought the better, and they just kept us out because they knew myself and T110E3 were moving against them and would be able to perhaps take the fight to them, or maybe even win it. I mean, we did our job, but the enemy kept us out. It was an uphill battle, and enemy got the better of us, ladies and gentlemen. This was the game in the Jaegaru, and the Jaegaru story is not finished yet, my noble friends. On to the next one. And now we are on the Sand River map, where we find ourselves in another fully tier 10 game. All of them are tier 10, and we are moving against in the middle of the map, where only the light tanks are operating. So most of our team has moved in this direction, and some heavies which remained have moved on to the A line. It is only I which is moving against the enemy forces which might be coming our way. I spot the 60 TP which was coming, so I switched to gold rounds, but I find a E-100 in front of me, which was a blessing really. If you find an E-100 in front of you, then you are in for a treat, because its armor doesn't really hold up against my gold rounds. Well, most of the tanks armor doesn't hold up against me, and I put a second round into the poor E-100. We are already on 2200 hit points, and the icing on the cake is that E-100 is using the small gun and firing HE rounds at me. So I mean, it is just a dream come true for the Jaegaru. We are totally loaded, and now we are again moving against the E-100, trying to fight a shot. We fire, and we eat that tier 10 German heavy tank alive, doing 753 and 2936 damage in total to him. So but a stellar start for the Jaegaru, ladies and gentlemen. Now I am reloading and trying to move up against enemies. I was hoping to get a shot on the Stresswagen 103B. I know it is a very exposed location, but let's see if we are able to find a shot on anyone. Meanwhile, 60 TP is not playing aggressive at all, and he knows that he is alone against the Jaegaru, so he is no fool and he is not moving against me. So I got spotted, and prudently I retreat, and now I am safe. Don't really want to get hit by enemy forces. over there because Minotauro and Stridswagen can hit hard. Also, the Gorilla is over there. RT can shoot me, so a lot of bad can happen. Now 60 TP might be a winner, i.e. a winner of receiving my shells into his vehicle. Let's see if he comes our way, partners. Things at the moment are not going good in our team's favor because look at the hit points. We are down by hit points. We have lost a few, even though the scores are level. Enemies are counter-attacking on the A line against the VZ55 and AMX M454, but we are not concerned with that. Again, I am moving up, trying to get a round into Minotauro maybe, but I don't think I would be able to. No enemy forces are moving against me at the moment. And the enemy, look at that. I'll make the minimap bigger. Enemy has won that flank, all of that area, and now they are making their way over here. So our base is in trouble now. Therefore, I am starting to move against our base in a defensible position. However, I am also worried about getting hit by enemy forces over there. So let's see. It was a tricky situation because I was worried that if I crossed here, enemies would spot me and put rounds into me. So now I am moving from this direction, still in two minds about was looking at the VZ55, hoping he doesn't move up and spots me, and then I would be at my vulnerable spot. However, it seems like I would be able to move up against this region D1 into the D1 region in a defensive position so that all the enemy forces which are coming our way, well, they can be challenged. Scores are not good. We are down by 2 tanks. T110E3 is guarding the base. Meanwhile, the AMX M454 is moving against us. All the damage we did was to that E-100. So, I mean, he made our game so far. We aim, we fire. Or do we? We don't fire. We are clever. We would only fire a gold round which costs 4,000 or whatever thousand when we have a clear shot on the enemy. Now we do have a shot. We fire and 1096 damage was done and a threat eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad that I got a high roll. Otherwise, sometimes I have done mega min rolls as well, leaving enemies on a few hit points which come back to haunt me. Now the BZ75 enemy tier 10 Chinese vehicle is in front of me. I fire and we do 971 damage. He fires an HE round at me, does 75 damage. So we were lucky that way, my friends. We are on 5000 damage. We have some support ahead of us as well in the form of M5Y. Minotauro is moving against the FV215B. Stridswagen is providing vision over on that flank. For how long he'll be able to do it, that remains to be seen, because Minotauro can put rounds into the Stridswagen. So it is an untenable position for him. So things are not looking good. We are down by 3 tanks. Enemies are trying to attack us from multiple direction. M5Y is making a move. I aim and fire. We do 986 damage to the BZ75, but he does fire back and does mega amount of damage to us, 700 and something. So there was a penetrating round and I was not happy about it. We fire again and we finish off the tier 10 Chinese vehicle. There is another threat eliminated, ladies and gentlemen. If all only 3 vehicles remain on our team and enemy surround us on all directions. We need to regroup over here and try to do as much damage as possible. Sadly, the VZ-55 finishes off the T-110E3, even reducing our chances even further. M5Y is moving over in that direction. I was worried that if I turned towards the VZ, Minotauro would hit me. If I turned against the Minotauro, VZ would hit me, and RT is upon me anyway. So I did the only thing which I could do and move downwards over here in this direction. I am stunned at the moment as well. So now it is now the last ditch effort before the enemy overwhelms me. M5Y is over there fighting it out, and TVP and Stritzwagen were shooting at him. VZ-55 showed his belly towards me and I fire, doing 800 and something damage. That was a low roll as well. VZ might put a round into me. I angle and he bounces around, so now he goes on a reload. RT puts another round into me and Guerrilla 15 comes from above like a hawk and finishes me off. We were on 7,419 damage. We did all we could, but sadly it wasn't enough. The enemy team was better and they got the better of us, ladies and gentlemen. However, Jaegaru's story continues, my noble friends. On to the next one. And now we find ourselves on the Ghost Town map. This time, this is not a totally tier 10 matchup. And as being a self-respecting Jaegaru, I am moving into the city to take the fight to the enemy team. We are matched up against some really deadly enemies in the Chieftain, for example, Super Conqueror. Those are fantastic vehicles and we have to watch out because they can go through us like anything, right? Like nothing. Their shells are really good and they can move into our vehicle really easily. So we are going to play it safe. Let the heavies on our team, i.e. the IS-7 and Object 260, engage with them while we are waiting in ambush. We are waiting for any vehicle which would come from in front of us so that we can put an ambush shot on them. Now we know that the Chieftain and all the other heavies are engaged with our guys. So now I am just lying in wait. That is what Jaegaru does. I mean, do not be fooled by its massive structure that I can go frontally against enemy vehicles. They are more nimble, they pack a punch, and you're not fast or agile enough to kite them effectively. Now we find 50 TP in front of us. We fire and do 1072 damage. He was not expecting to hit by a Jaegaru and he has been clapped so hard that cannot be described. I am so happy. Enemy Jaegaru, my counterpart, gets spotted in front of me, gets hit by our heavies, and now he is running for his life. We aim, we fire, and 422 damage eliminates the JagdPanzer E-100 from the game. So a fantastic start for us at the moment. However, look at the scores, ladies and gentlemen, minus 4,800. So things are not looking good at the moment. We are making a push in the 9-0 line and failing as well. We aim, we fire, but sadly Super Conqueror puts a round into us, a gold round I might add, and our round just goes into the pillar of that structure. We didn't even hit our round, so that trade did not go in our favor. Now we are totally loaded. IS-32 and T-110E4 has fired. Now T-110E4, poor guy, he was tracked. He couldn't retreat in time. from all the other enemy heavies, and they just slaughtered him. Now we are moving in, hoping to find a shot onto the 50 TP. We fire and we finish off the tier 9 Polish heavy tank, ladies and gentlemen. However, while we were finishing off the 50 TP, the Super Conqueror again put a round into us, man. The enemy, look at the score, it's minus 8,000. Things are super bad at the moment. Now I had a choice. I could wait for and aim at the Super Conqueror, or I could finish off the Concept 1B, eliminating one tier 9 heavy tank from the game, a deadly one. We took a round from the Super Conk, sure, but it was the right thing to do, eliminating that vehicle. Now IS-32, IS-7 and myself are moving against these. We eliminate the Chieftain. The T-95 was moving against us as well. Now we are trying to make a move against them. However, BZ-68 on the tier 9 Chinese heavy tank has moved up foolishly in that direction. We fire and we eliminate him. Meanwhile, we got lucky back there, not so lucky. Well, we absorbed a round from the Super Conqueror once, and then he reloads so fast that he puts a round into us. So all the damage we have received so far has been from the Super Conqueror, and he is owning us left, right and center. IS-7 on the other hand is trying to make a move against the T-95, and he is not feeling so hot. Meanwhile, I was worried that we would be flanked by the Super Conqueror. I instructed to the IS-7 and gladly he listened that I even locate on the map that he should move over there and guard against the Super Conqueror, which might approach us from there. Meanwhile, I take over my fight against the T-95. IS-7, sure enough, so Super Conqueror is over there and IS-7 is fighting. Sadly, Super Conqueror is owning the IS-7. IS-7 was on low hit points and he's not winning that fight at all. Meanwhile, T-95 fired a round into me. I angled and he bounced around into me. I am now moving against the T-95 and he is not reloaded, but he was. My tracks absorbed that round. I fire a round and finish off the T-95. Now I am turning around my attention towards the Super Conqueror, but I know that I cannot go against the Super Conk. He would just fire anywhere on my vehicle and go through it again. So I am running away from him, trying to kite him, and we managed to escape. Sadly, the STB one fired from that location, but thankfully our tracks absorbed it because they are quite strong, those tracks. IS-32 is moving against the Super Conqueror, and since Super Conqueror is a good player, he is going to have his way with the IS-32. Let's just say that Leopard 1 spots the IS-32, flanks him and puts a round into him while Super Conqueror finishes off. We fire and put 1,000 damage into the Leopard 1. We have now gone on the reload. Super Conqueror was coming after us and sadly he finished us off. So entirety of our vehicle was finished off by the Super Conqueror, and he was the MVP for the enemy. Sadly, when we look at the post-game stats, you guys will see that it was an uphill, unwinnable fight, and it was only us who did any serious damage to the enemy. Now, we cannot just leave on the note of defeat after defeat after defeat. So, as they say, on to the next one, my noble friends. And now we find ourselves on the steps map. The map is not fully tier 10 and there are tier 8s available in front of us, but that doesn't concern us because the Jaegaru can go through everything. I mean, TNH VZ51 is firing blindly through the bushes and he is going to continue to blind fire, making this bush unplayable for me. However, whether it is unplayable or not, that remains to be seen. Look at that, another round fired right over there. And well, I would not move into the bush until it is necessary to take the shot. So now I am hoping that I can perhaps get a round into the VZ55, but another blind round by the TNH VZ51 goes into us. He doesn't know that he got me, but well, he did get me. 50 TP has lost almost all of his hit points, and with the 705 we are just holding our own at the moment. Against us is 60 TP, Object 704, VZ55, the cheeky TNH VZ51. So we have got our work cut out for us. We are down by 4100 hit points already, so things are not looking good at the moment. We aim and we fire, doing a high roll, 1148 damage to the deadly Czechoslovakian heavy tank VZ55. Fantastic stuff. I mean, whenever you see a VZ55, you fire and aim, and that is the cheeky TNH VZ51. We aim and we fire, doing 931 damage. However, on enemy Object 704 was able to finish off the 50 TP. Now the VZs have moved over here. And the 60 TP is against us. Meanwhile, it is only I and the 60 TP Object 704 which are against the onslaught of the enemies. They are coming hard against us. Iron Arnie was our only support and he has been killed by the artillery. Meanwhile, a wild Stridsvagen S51 appears out of nowhere, being all cute and funny over there. Hey, how's it going, S51? Just move up a bit. Come on, you can do it. Fire! What a cheeky round we put in and took away everything he had, i.e. 1000 hit points. 705 is pointing towards me. Well, that do something. Well, I indicate to him that I was reloading. I'm totally reloaded and I fire, taking away 823 hit points off the VZ55. Now SU-130 PM moved in and killed the TNH as well, while I finished off the VZ. Now I am almost reloaded. 60 TP is looking towards the 705. We fire and took away 938 damage amount of hit point from the 60 TP, finishing him off. 704 is moving against the 705 heavy tank. We are not reloaded at the moment and we would be reloaded, and we fire and kill the tier 9 Soviet tank destroyer, the Object 704. That moves us to 5230 damage, and just like that, the enemy onslaught has been defeated in this corner. And also we are again level as far as the scores are concerned against the enemy. Enemies are attacking relentlessly, where FV4005 is over there, but he is getting hit by our team, and our Cobra was unloading on him, and he finished off the FV4005. AMBT spotted me, and well, I have the most amount of hit points, it seems. Well, Judas over there is on full HP as well, but I am at the top tier, so it is my duty to move forward against them, use my hit points, try to spot the enemies and take the fight to them. things are seemingly in our favor, but they can go sideways really quickly. AMBT was spotted and 705 puts a swift round into him, finishing him off. So now the scores are 12-10. We are moving against them. My hope was to spot the enemy somehow. Perhaps Borask was here, but he must have moved back by now. Ladies and gentlemen, 705 is making his way from the middle of the map. Meanwhile, another Iron Army was over there. We get hit by the ISU 152 782. Thankfully, we spotted him. Our spotting got him killed. So look at that. We got 1200 assistance damage. So all of that ISU was finished off by our spotting. We had to donate our hit points. That is all we had. But that is fantastic. Borask fired at us as well. Thankfully, he bounced. All of us are moving against them. 705, that hero over there, moved into the enemy artillery park, finishing off the DW Tiger and last remaining enemy vehicle. The Borask is moving up. I was aiming fire, and my shell betrayed me. It dipped into the dirt, dropping me off the 5th kill, and Borask is taken down by the Iron Army, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, a victory. So much damage we had to do in so many games in order to secure a victory. Now let's check out the post-game stats of all the games we checked out and see how we really did in all of them. So on to the post-game stats, my noble friends. Alright, first up, Paris game. It was a defeat, but the icing on the cake was that we were able to get the Top Gun medal, which is always welcome. First class mastery badge for our efforts. And look at all the enemy players we defeated. 3788 damage with 6 kills, 594 base experience. And we should also mention the T110E3, who was just a solid anchor upon which we rested our defense on the heavy corner. Sadly, the team around us fell apart and we couldn't really do anything about it. Next up is the Sand River game, and we secured 2 hero medals, this time Tank Sniper and High Caliber medal. 7419 damage dealt with 3 kills and 562 base experience. Also with us was the hero Volkswagen 103B, who dealt 3437 damage with 4 kills. And look at that, we also completed the Tank Destroyer 15 mission for the T55A. Well, the primary conditions, I haven't done it with honors because one has to win the game and do certain amount of kills as well. Whatever the secondary conditions are, once I'm able to do it, then I would consider it completed. But for now, it is complete without the honors, and that was a fantastic achievement for us. Next up is the Ghost Town game. We killed 5 enemy vehicles, doing 5510 damage. And look at our team: Waffenträger Aufspanzer 4, T110E4, PZ68, EBR, Volkswagen K. They all did nothing. I mean, with the IS-7, who got the second highest amount of XP, he was in the thick of things and he blocked a lot of rounds, and actually he tried, but the enemies were just too powerful. Well, all the rest of them, Guerrilla was providing some support, but all in all, the enemies were just too good. Look at all the damage the Conqueror did. He completely finished us off, and he is a good player. So, well, good job him, but I am not really happy about it. He totally owned the hell out of me. And when you are driving the Jaegaru, do not get angry when the enemies go through your vehicle, and when your armor doesn't work, because it is a very easy tank which can be outplayed easily, right? So do expect to lose games and also get owned by vehicles. However, when you get the chance to punish them, then it most certainly can punish them hard as well. And lastly, in the steps map, a game where we finally achieved victory, we got second class mastery badge with tank sniper and the high caliber medal, doing 5230 damage with 4 kills, securing 866 base experience. And look at that, since we were not spotting for ourselves, all the other dudes got more experience. Why? Because they were lower tiers fighting higher tiers and from the front. So of course, naturally, they deserve to get more experience. So there you have it, my noble friends, the Mighty Jaegaru. This is my setup with vents, rammer turbo and rammer directive, just to boost that rate of fire up. And this is a really fun vehicle which I enjoy playing. I recently got it and I have been having fun in it. I mean, when you're in a mood to hurt some enemies, take this vehicle out, throw a few rounds in and feel better about yourself. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider it giving it a like down below, and also if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next coming videos. So until next time, goodbye my noble friends.